G'day everyone, it is officially the gift giving season, so I thought I would share a little bit of inspiration on how you can turn some of your shell finds into a bit of a shell planter or shell decor piece. So I found this big broken baler shell out on the mud flats about a week ago, and I mean he's pretty rough looking, but at the same time I was feeling super motivated to kind of upcycle him and turn him into a bit of an artwork. But first things first, I do want to clean him, so I got a bucket and put a bit of bleach and water in there. I mean, probably just water would have been fine because, I mean, he turned out looking exactly the same anyway. All of that orange staining on the shell was maintained. Anyway, I decided that that lip probably could do with a bit of filing down, so I penciled a quick line across it and went to grab the Dremel, but on the pile of wooden blocks, I found something rather nice. How long had this been there? I'm honestly not sure. It is a piece of hardwood, kind of a very beautiful color, nice and chunky, and I thought it could do as a pretty nice base for the shell in the end. It would just need a bit of a cleanup on that side, of course, and then I grabbed the Dremel for real and the different bits too, and donned the safety gear. So what you may or may not know is that the dust created from cutting into shells is actually not good for your lungs. It's not good for your body. So wearing a mask is absolutely essential. Here I am just using the cutting bit to take away some of the larger chunks of the shell's lip. And then afterwards I went in with the grinder and just smoothed out that edge so it followed along on my pencil line nicely. And that is of course why the pencil line is so vital. Also, after cutting it, I kind of put it on that block of hardwood and decided that, wow, this would be so much nicer as an oval shape. But let's table that thought for later. What I needed to figure out next was how I wanted to attach this baler shell to the block of wood eventually. And I ended up settling on clay. I was originally going to go for air dry clay, but they didn't have any white stuff at the store. And then I remembered I have this Sculpey polymer clay that's just been sitting in the cupboard for years. So why not use that for the first time ever? I mean, no time like the present to learn. And also I did buy some LED tea lights just to put inside the baler. I thought they would look nice, but I opened one up, pulled out the tab, got it turned on. Like, I'm surprised that the batteries were in it and working. But the thing is, it didn't really fit inside the baler, so I'll have to think of something else. But for now, yes, here is the baler all ready to go, and the main thing to do now is to fill in that giant hole and make a stand with the polymer clay and some tin foil as the foundation. So without really knowing what to do at this point, I just pulled off some tin foil. No, I don't know why my tin foil is discolored like that. It always happens though. And I tried kind of modeling a stand and sort of eventually settled on this, a bit of a slope right there. Then I grabbed out the clay and started to knead it. I actually have no idea what I'm doing. This is my first time using it, so I just did what felt right. And I gotta say, I can understand why people use this polymer clay stuff. It feels amazing to use. It's like blue tack and clay, except not as messy as either of them. It's just fantastic. So as you can see, I rolled it out flat with a little jar of shells. That's another great gift idea. And just started like slapping it onto the tin foil, onto the shell. My plan here is to bake not only the clay and the tin foil in the oven, because this is an oven baked clay, but also to bake the shell as well. So it seemed like a pretty good idea. Like, the clay attached nicely to both the shell and the tin foil, and I just spent some time kind of working over the different sections, getting it smooth, getting it kind of stylized how I wanted. I think it took about 2 hours all up to kind of tin foil and cover the shell into sort of this weird artistic rendition. I'm sure it's not perfect. This was my first time trying it, but I'm pretty happy with the result. And then I thought, does it still fit on my wooden block? And yes it does. It does still fit on the block. I think it will look pretty nice, especially when it's cut out into an oval shape. So the thing next to do is to bake it. I followed the instructions. I put my silicone mat onto a baking tray and put it in for about 15 minutes, which was what my instructions said to do for the thickness of the clay that I used. I also had a little ball right next to it to test the doneness. It's hot. Don't touch it. Oh, don't touch that either. Stay away. Yes, stay away. Oh, it's hard. Yeah, okay, that's done. That's nice and not soft. Usually, like, only a bit of pressure would I mean, it's clay. A bit of pressure would make it, deform. So Yeah, this one seems pretty hard as well. It looks to be all nice and done. But I didn't stop there because I thought just white looked a bit plain. So I decided to add a bit of blue colouring to it. This is just some cheap dollar store paint. I just whacked down a blob and I wanted to desaturate it a bit, so I added some grey to it as well. I mean, it's still a super bright colour, but it's more of a royal blue instead of the phthalo blue that it was before. And as you can see, I'm just kind of painting on kind of willy-nilly, just how I want it to look. I pretty much just made the white clay a bit of a white outline in the end and kind of accentuated it all with that blue. And then I decided, of course, that I still wasn't done and wanted to put some stripes or some lines on the top of the shell as well. And then I needed to fill the shell with something. All of the ones at the back are busted. So yes, I grabbed an unbroken bag of pebbles and an air plant. Yes, I saw the air plants at the store and decided that they would be much better than the little tea light I'd tried earlier. And did you forget about this guy? It is that beautiful hardwood block all cut out into an oval now. So big thank you to good old Dad with his power tools. He completed this task in about 30 minutes, and if I had tried it, I mean, it might have taken me like 3 hours to cut down a hardwood block and sand it, so thank you very much to him. And of course now it is time to add the pebbles, so I just cut a small hole in the bag and very carefully added it to the shell. To my great surprise, the pebbles sit in there nicely. I actually only just saw this. The lazy gardener's ideal companion, so there we go. He's perfect. Let's rip him out of there. Also, this guy, in case anyone wants to know, is a tea. That tea means Tillandsia. I'm pretty sure it's just a very common air plant. Tillandsia ionantha. And also this one looks red. My one looks green. I can't explain it. It's fine. I'm sure it's fine. Hello, friend. I don't know. Is anyone out there the kind of person that names their plants? Oh, hello, friend. So yeah, in case you don't know, air plants don't really have a root system. I guess that would be it. But yeah, they don't need soil. They just need like a bit of water on them once a week. So I thought this guy, without, you know, soil or drainage in there, might fit. Oh, it's beautiful. I love it already. There we go. And we're done. We're done. What happens if I take out a bit of the sand and see if there's... Whoa, not that way. If I take out the sand, and maybe the air plant will have more room. I don't know. I didn't know how much to put in. I took some sand out and then added some more sand around it, or pebbles or grit or whatever it's called. Anyway, it looks pretty good. And this particular air plant won't get much bigger than this. Maybe another like centimeter. So it's just like the perfect little pal for my... ex-broken baler shell. Is it broken? I mean, technically it's still broken. The holes are just covered, but yeah, super pleased with how this one turned out. And here we go, project completed. I mean, I still need to glue it onto this wooden block on the bottom, which I will do because this hard wooden block just adds so much to the effect. Like, it's got the nice natural wood with a nice natural plant. It kind of offsets the kind of almost cartoony paint job I put on this guy. So yes, project completed, and oh my good golly goodness, it was so much fun. And this is like, I don't know, I mean, personally, I think it's a huge upgrade from the big broken shell that I pulled off of the mud flats. It is now an artwork, and I say that with like a caveat. I know that this artwork is probably not to everyone's aesthetic. Like, I am very aware that I made this with myself in mind. So, you know, my favorite colors are blue and white. I like kind of angular shapes. So yes, I made it very much with myself in mind. If you made this for someone else as a gift, you would hopefully use colors that they like and a style that they like. Maybe they'd like gradients or like crystals and geodes or like a sunset theme. You could get as crazy as you want with it. And speaking of getting as crazy as you want with it, you can also get like as simplistic as you want with it. So say for instance, you had a shell that stands up perfectly well by itself. It doesn't have any holes and it doesn't need to have any kind of support on it. You could just get something like this. It's a horse conch. You could fill it with sand and put an air plant in there and you'd be done in 10 minutes. Or you could put some soil in there and a succulent, maybe drill out a drainage hole and be done in like 20 to 30 minutes. So you can get as crazy complicated or as simple as you want to get for these projects, but that is the fun of DIY. It can be anything that you can imagine. So this turned out probably pretty close to how I imagined it. I think, although saying that, I did almost go with the with the tea light inside of it instead of the air plant. So I am so happy I got the air plant in there because it adds like this beautiful natural bit of look, and I think it'll last longer than the button battery inside of a tea light. So yes, this is the project complete, and I must say, everyone, thank you so much for watching something different today. I would have loved to have taken us all on a shelling adventure, but it's just been so windy and so rainy, so sometimes you need to have a shelling adventure at home. So yes, everyone, that's it for this time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye, guys.